What's your reaction, first of all, to the Chancellor's announcement of financial support for industries affected by further lockdown measures?
Well, of course, it's very welcome, Mark. But as I've been saying right from day one, that the government should put everybody in the same position post-COVID as they were pre-COVID by protecting jobs, protecting wages, and protecting companies that are losing vast sums of money as a consequence. Not enabling them to make money, but at least enabling them to survive, ready for the recovery.
Indeed. What does your strategy look like if you had a chance to get into number 10, have a word with Boris Johnson? What would you be advising at this stage? Because as I was discussing with our talk radio political correspondent Charlotte Ivers in the last hour, the bottom line is, if you're going to have these restrictions and local lockdowns, if you're going to attempt forever to control this virus, then I guess you're going to have to hand out money. But perhaps there's another way.
Well, I think the first thing was that we should have absolutely, from day one, said that there would be support for all businesses and for all employees that were damaged by COVID virus. And that could have been quite cost effective because it could have been allowing people to go to work for 1 day or 2 days a week and to be partially furloughed for the rest of the time on 60 or 70%. And that should have been stated to be ad infinitum until COVID was conquered, so that it gave people certainty. But a much more pressing question, in a way, is, did this really need doing? Because, COVID is now responsible for 0.4% deaths to cases. Not much different to flu, but massively different to the 18% of April when COVID first struck and hit the aged and the infirm. And we've done a good job of protecting those people now. And that, of course, is what's desperately needed. I think, as one of your listeners actually said, protecting them if they wish to be protected, because they need a life as well. They don't need to be locked away forever. But I think the quicker way of getting those people out of lockdown, the aged and the vulnerable, is to let herd immunity develop. And of course there would be the odd casualty amongst those people, the young, because some of them will have preconditions and for whatever reason be vulnerable to COVID. But that's true of flu as well. We shouldn't be closing the country down without really examining the statistics and the holistic picture, not just look tunnel vision at COVID, but look at the whole scenario of the damage being done to people with other illnesses, to the economy and to people's lives.
What are you seeing in the business community at the moment? I spoke to Luke Johnson yesterday, chairman of the Gales Group, former chairman of Pizza Express and Channel 4, and he said he's having one depressing board meeting after another in which companies are discussing the withdrawal of investment, the laying off of staff and the closing of businesses.
Yeah, well, of course, this is sector specific, and some sectors, very few, but some sectors are doing very well, like the online businesses. Other businesses are surviving and doing okay, and other businesses are completely and utterly decimated and with no chance of surviving without massive help. And the big burning question, which I keep asking the government, is this really the best way of doing it? Is this really essential? Or can we be tackling this problem in a different way? And as you know, my belief is absolutely that we can tackle it in a different way to reduce deaths and reduce the damage to the economy.
John, give me a quick picture of the future. You are a visionary. You've delivered for business in your entire career. You've been a big employer. You've generated income for the nation. Lay out your blueprint for the next 3 months.
Well, my blueprint is more for the next few years, which is CPR, Caudwell Pandemic Recovery. And that is all about the Chancellor and the government now saying we are going to invest in the future. We're not just going to put sticking plaster on the current problems. And of course, we need to do that. But what we need to do is announce a package of measures that invests in Britain and helps Britain to recover from this pandemic much more rapidly. And that I'm advocating a huge extra borrowing of between 500 billion and £1 trillion to invest in apprenticeship schemes, 1 million new jobs in apprenticeship schemes, world-class apprenticeship schemes with further education across a whole range of industries, to invest very, very heavily in infrastructure, roads, rail, hospitals, and
Broadband.
fibre optic,
Brilliant.
and also, of course, inward investment from other countries, where we gain and try and attract other businesses onto our shores to set up manufacturing industry and to bring wealth to these shores and create jobs. And of course, finally, the final part of my picture is to become world leading experts in renewable energy, so creating more jobs, but helping the long term for the environment as well.
Well, I think the Prime Minister has been listening to you, John, because he's already started with the offshore wind. Let's hope he absorbs the rest of your package too. The biggest names in business speak to Talk Radio. John Caudwell is a philanthropist, business leader and founder of Phones for You.